Hi, everybody. Welcome to Grab Your Keys. We are going to have a different podcast today. We have Teresa Sprague on, and I am so excited because she is the National Director of Growth and Development at Success Mortgage Partners. But besides that, she is a mom, a wife. She's a little bit of everything to everyone. And we were just talking about how to stay young and healthy. So I was just saying how all of a sudden you start to see like little lines and little wrinkles, and you try to make sure you have your hair and everything up. And as the person who pretty much hosts the Facebook page Ladies in Lending, you see lots of different things and give lots of great information. And I was saying how when I was 35, my mom, for my birthday, and I was like, stop. Let's just start recording and see where this goes. So on my 35th birthday, my mom gave me a gift certificate for a like microdermabrasion, facial, like a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, what? That's what you're giving me for my birthday? I was like totally indignant about it because I was like, I look amazing. I'm 35. So she said, if I knew at 35 what I know at 55, which is like practically, I'm like almost right there, I would do things a lot differently and I would have made sure. So, all of you great mortgage people with the stress that we deal with every day as women, go get facials and take care of your skin. So, Teresa, you were saying all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, that popped up. Oh my God, this popped up. And like, we deal
It
with
does, Sue. And you know what? It's one of those things is like I was saying to you, as you get older and the stress that comes in and everything else, I wake up, I look in the mirror and I go, who is that person? Where did that come from? How did I get this? How did I get that? And then you look back at all of the stresses and the pieces of your life, and you can almost identify each line to each year of something that happened to you.
right.
So
So you're a mom of three.
I am. Yes, I've got
So, and
boys too.
all boys, yes, all boys. And, I think that I have a boy and a girl. So I think that my daughter keeps me busy. But the boys, you have a wide range in age because
Yeah.
you have like a 20 something, and then you have 11, right?
I have 21, 19, and the littlest actually turned 7 in January. So
I
I've got
can't.
a
I have
big
no
spread.
concept of seven, so single digits. I can't even say single digits.
Yes.
It's like too crazy for my brain to even handle.
Yep.
So that's a widespread. You have like sporting events. You have like getting home. You drive an hour to and from work,
I
right?
do. Yes.
Yeah.
Every day.
So driving an hour to and from work, keeping a household of five, getting hair done, getting makeup done, getting nails done, making sure you have the right outfit to wear, running a huge national division for a big mid-sized mortgage company. How do you handle it?
You know what? To be honest with you, Sue, it's one day at a time because you can't. You can't do it any other way. And time blocking is a huge one for me. I eat, live, and breathe off of my calendar because if I don't, I won't make it to anything on time. I don't know what's going on in the day. And then having a team of people, not just the workers that are on my team with me, but at home as well. My mother in law lives with me. She helps with the cooking and some of the laundry. My two older boys, they have to help with the grocery shopping and the cutting of the lawn. It takes an army to keep my life going.
Yeah, I agree. And I fall into that. It takes a
Mhm.
village.
Yep.
And for years, I felt guilt that, I
Mhm.
wasn't the one doing the wash or preparing dinner. But I always felt that, or doing the homework, like I always felt that I didn't want to fight with my children to do those things. Like I didn't want to fight with what's for dinner. I don't know what's for dinner. Like whatever gets made for dinner gets made for dinner, and we're all going to eat it together,
Yep.
or we're all going to make turkey sandwiches together, like one of the two, but we're going to do it together. And then, also, I had a rule, which I say all the time, like if you as a child, my children are 23 and almost 21 right now. So I'm on the other side of things.
Yep.
But while they were in school, if you were going to be in something for less than 5 minutes, I could not get there. I was not going to be there because I had to be at work. I could not, I had to take telephone calls. I had to, write mortgages. And then when they would complain that I was doing things on the weekends or taking the telephone calls, I was like, that's how we get paid.
That's how
Like,
you have this life. That's how that roof is over your head. That's how that food is on the table. But mom guilt is real, Sue.
yeah,
It truly, truly is. But I made a decision probably when Brett was 6 months old that I wanted to be a working mom. It was a very, very difficult to take your child to daycare and drop them off there and then drive into work and going, what did I just do?
right. So how did you make that decision?
I actually, after 4 months, was crawling up the walls. I was like, I need adult conversation. I need to have a different purpose in my life. I love my children. I love my family, but I can do great things in this world that are exterior of the four walls of my home. And and my husband said, if that's what you want to do, I support you in either one. And so we found daycare, put him in, and I was back to work when he was 6 months old.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you fulfill your joy in life and you're fulfilled in all your buckets, you're a better mom.
I agree.
And whether that's at staying at home, working in the house, or if
Mhm.
that's working outside the house, as long as you're filling your bucket, with the joy that your heart needs, you can be a great mom. I had tons of mom guilt over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And I just needed to know that I was doing what I felt was right for my family all the time. And I think sometimes I always say women are meaner to women than anybody else.
Shocking
And
to me.
and we just need to be nice.
We do. And I think that's where the concept of Ladies in Lending came from, because I've seen that. And I wanted to create that group and say, you know what, ladies, let's get together and lift each other up. Let's support one another. Let's encourage one another. The mortgage industry, especially, is extremely challenging the last couple of years. It has so much stress and so much anxiety. There's a ton of opportunity out there as well, but we need to help one another.
Right.
And
I love that platform of Ladies in
Mhm.
Lending. It does give great information. It is lighthearted. You can post the things. You can post anonymously if you want, but it is a great, resource of, with people being laid off, with people, wanting to better themselves in their career. They could actually turn to Ladies in Lending and see what is out there for women helping women.
Absolutely. We've got, ladies in there that say, hey, I'm looking for a great loan partner in this area. Or, hey, I've got a great loan partner that I can't keep anymore. Is anyone interested? And they're passing those names. Same thing with loans. Hey, is anyone licensed in this area? Could you help a client that I have? And then just coming up with some great ideas and tips and strategies on how to help grow your business, especially in this market.
Yeah. So I love, I'm a big advocate of Ladies in Lending, and I love everything about it. I think that we all can raise each other up in everything that we do. And I love when women help. I love the spill the tea. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit? We're going to start the spill the teas back. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what the spill the tea is and how you came up with it?
So again, that spill the tea it's a once a week or once a month, session, depending on how many guests that we can get on there. We meet on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, and it picks up in the middle of the week so we can get all areas of the country. And it truly is just to share ideas and realities and stories, because we all have different struggles, different successes, different challenges at different times. And when you get a group of women in the same room, you realize I'm not alone.
Yeah.
You might be able to help someone else in that room. You might give an idea to someone to help grow their business. You can connect. Oh my gosh, I had that same challenge. So we enjoy doing it. It has a ton of different ideas and suggestions and different topics that we go over in that. And yes, we took probably about 4 months off from it, but it's coming back in May. So look out for the dates for it.
I can't wait. So I know in the market that we're in, you are, developing and growing the department, or I guess the
The company, yeah.
company, the whole national company. I know
Yeah.
it's crazy, the whole national
Yes.
company. And I know everybody's always like, I want to talk to you, but I want to be a branch manager. I want to have my own thing. And in the world that we're in right now, sometimes that's not behooving for them to have their own thing. I mean, there's lots of different avenues that you can take when you're looking to go to a new company. What do you feel are the things that a loan officer should look for, or a branch manager should look for, when they're trying to decide what's next for them in their career?
My number one thing is find a company that you can be aligned with. Because that, if you're not aligned with your current company or the company that you're going to, it's never going to survive. They have to have the same core values as you, the same mindset, and they need to show you how to grow. What is your definition of success? Is it being a true branch manager? Okay, let's help get you there. Maybe it's not. Maybe you want to be a one person that has a lot of support staff that closes all the business themselves.
Yeah.
But don't just think because branch manager is supposed to be the next rung up, it's not always the right fit for what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people just think that that's what they want, and that's actually not what they want. And I'll give you an example. Like, we have many people who are branch managers at Centennial Lending Group, but they don't run their own P&L that rolls up to the division. They don't run operations that rolls up to the division.
Yeah.
They roll, they get to have everything they want as a branch manager without all the crap, because
Right.
That's what I handle.
It is. People, I think that's the biggest misconception, is that being the branch manager, there's a lot of extra, and especially if you're a producing branch manager, because then you have all of your loans that you have to do, plus all of the operational staff to maintain, the P&L to maintain. There is so many more moving pieces to that, and you have to love it to want to do it.
Yeah, for sure. So what I love at Success is the culture. But in addition to that, I also love that if you're looking for a right place to work, you could be a branch manager that is a sole branch. You can be a husband and wife team that one's a producing manager and one's a non-producing manager. You can be part of a division as a branch manager. You can be all these different things. And it's okay if you're in the position that you are to move into another one.
Absolutely.
I mean,
we talk to, probably hundreds of people every single month. And it's just amazing to hear some of the stories and the realities of what's out there. But one of the number one questions that we ask people is, what is success to you? And we've had, I want to make $1 million. And then we've had someone say, nope, I want to be done working by 3:30 because I need to be at the bus stop by 4 and home to make dinner for my children at 5. That's their definition of success. So how do we do that? We wrap the right team around them, or we help them grow. But the first thing is to find out what you define as success. And if the company is not asking you that,
right,
find a different, so talk to someone else. Definitely.
Yeah, call Teresa. So yeah, because I think that if they're just like, what's your production? What do you make? How many VIPs do you? It doesn't even make a difference how many VIPs you make. Nope. If you're running your P&L and you're expensed out the yang, yep. It doesn't make a difference. When at Success, you could go to the national division, you could go to the CLG division, you could be your own person, you could be a branch, you could be like a little bit of everything. That is the beauty of it.
Our model
that does that.
You get to pick. We come in, and that's the second part of it. So what do you define as success? And then let's design the model and pick the plan that works best for you. And then we wrap the people around you and all of the coaching we can and all of the technology that we can to help you achieve that.
Yeah. So let's talk about, how you pour into, your growth and development. So your growth of the division and your development. How do you pour into the loan officers at Success?
I think we have so many different options in being able to do that. We have different coaching platforms. A lot of times you'll have one. We've got 3 different options for people to go into. Owen has made a huge investment in technology so that we have that. We have an incredible marketing department that's here. We have the ladies in lending group that we have. We do our sales conference every single year. Our account executives is a huge part, which that's an internal piece for us where their goal and mission every day, they're the boots on the ground for all of our loan officers. So they never feel like they're on an island. We have, gosh, the list is endless on what we do. It's just the core value of this company to treat the loan officer as our client.
Yeah.
Not the consumer.
Which I love, because that, we're as loan officers out there day in and day out trying to get the clients, trying to get the loans, trying to get the loans to the closing table. And sometimes, A, you just need to call someone and say, I need help with this. But B, sometimes you just need to call and say, hey, I just need to vent. Like, and that's happened over the last 2 years. Like, I don't want you to take anything I'm saying seriously, but I need to have 15 minutes to dump. And, I know at least for me, I'm a big like, hey, if I can get my 15 minutes of dumping, you're never going to hear from me for like another year. So, and I think that that's really good for people to understand, especially women in the mortgage business. It is okay to vent. It is okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to be emotional at times. That's what makes most women mortgage people
so great.
Most mortgage people who are successful are women. Most successful salespeople are women. And it's the empathy and emotion, which people can hear that we're in it with them, that gets us the deal. Because we're not selling, we're developing the relationship
with them and the client, so the referring agent as well as the clients. And it's true. I mean, our top 3 loan officers are females. Our top branches are females. 18 of our departments are run by women. Our president is a woman. And every single one of them has worked their butts off.
And we pretend that Owen's a girl too.
We do have incredible leadership. That is the other huge one when you're looking at any company is you have to, it goes back to that alignment. Know who the leaders are of that company and what their core values are, because that will pour down from the top to every single person in that company. So know who they are and what they're about.
Yeah, I always have a secret that I'll let out a little bit. I could always tell how people felt about me. I could always tell how the owners of different companies felt about me, about how the employees treated me.
Okay.
And it's very telling about how the employees treat you, because I always use that even as myself. Like if I'm having a bad day and I've had a disagreement with somebody and I come into my office and I vent about the disagreement, and then one of the people in the office then has an interaction with them, they think, oh, Sue didn't respect that person, or Sue didn't have this about that person, then I don't need to treat that person with respect, which they do deserve. But Sue vented about it. So I need to make sure that I keep a cap on the real things that I think at times, because I don't want my people in the office to ever portray how I might not feel about somebody that they're portraying the way I feel. So I always say, but you can tell when you're going to like title companies or you're going to like real estate offices, you can always tell how other people treat you by how the boss actually feels about you.
It's a great indicator and a tip right there. If you walk in the door and someone is, hi, Sue, and how are you? You know that someone is raving about you.
You're like, yeah, that's not
like, wait your turn.
Yeah. You can also do it in school. You can do it in schools. The way the teachers and the teachers treat you is the way the principal has spoken about you.
I think it's true anywhere in life. And it's one of the biggest things that you have to, it goes back to that. Have the 15-minute vent session. Have someone that's your accountability partner. Have that person that is your mentor that you can call. And no matter what you say to them, it stays with them, right? Because it's in the vault, and you can have that, because again, that may not be how you feel 10 minutes later, right? And so you always want to keep that positive attitude with everyone in your office and everyone that you work with and everyone at home and all those pieces. So finding that core group of mentors, it doesn't have to be one, it could be three, maybe it's, family, maybe it's coworkers, whatever it is, but have that person to go to.
Yeah. And how does that work? Like for you, you drive an hour to and from work. So when you get into work, how do you make sure that you're happy when you walk into work? And the same as how do you make sure you're happy when you walk into home? Like, because that's the first time your 7-year-old is going to be giving you a hug. Obviously, you're going to be like, oh, hug, but sometimes you're like, I had a really shitty day. How do you contain both of those?
So, and actually, I get asked the question all the time, how do you drive an hour both ways? And I actually enjoy it. And there's a reason, because I have 1 hour to get my head right on the way into work. So whatever is happening at home, I finish it off so that the second I walk in this door, it stays out in my car, anything that's going on at home. I'm now in work mode. I get here, I get all of my work done, and now I have that same hour on the way home. So I can decompress, I can get rid of my day. If there's anything left on my plate for work that I have to do, I have an hour to finish that off so that when I pull in my driveway, it stays in my car. And then I can walk into my house and I can be with my family. I'd like to say that happens every day, all the time, but that's impossible. And you guys would all know that I'm lying to you.
Right.
Yesterday I walked in and I had about 15 minutes of emails that I had to do. And Brett, of course, is talking. I'm like, honey, I need 8 minutes and we're good. And he waited. And then I put my phone away and we got to play football and outside, although it was ice cold yesterday. So.
It was beautiful here yesterday. And it will come there soon.
Yes, sure. I hope.
You're always a couple weeks after us.
Yes.
So you're in Michigan. Yeah. You are on the phone all day long, talking to people all over the United States, loving their job, hating their job. How do you deal with rejection?
You know what? I don't even look at it as rejection, right? They're just not ready yet.
Yeah.
A no to me is a no right now. Not always, because again, it's timing. And if I love to hear good stories and companies that are taking care of their people and they're surrounding them and everything that they need. That thrills me, because that's not the case with 80% of the people that I talk to. Mm-hmm. So when I do hear that, I'm like, awesome for you. Can I check in with you in 3, 6, 9 months and see how you're doing? And they're always like, absolutely, because in 3, 6, 9 months from now, it may not be the case anymore.
Right.
So I don't ever look at it as true rejection, just not right now.
Is there like a perfect avatar that success loves to have that is like, you're like, oh my gosh, you're amazing, you have to come work with us?
We are huge on culture. We want great personalities, productive people. I don't want any, life is short. I don't want to work with people that I don't like, know, and trust.
Right.
And so building that relationship with them, and if they want to be productive, they know what their goals are, we can help them get there. That's who we want to work with.
Well, I'm super excited that you were able to have a chat with me today, and I'm looking forward to Spill the Tea, seeing all the great things in Ladies in Lending. I know that, Success is big on having a big luncheon for the ladies that work at Success in November. So if you all want to be, any of you ladies listening want to be at that, please make sure that you join Success prior to November so that you can get an invitation to our invite-only luncheon. So thanks for giving us all your tidbits on how to be amazing at your job. And you are amazing at your job, and people love talking to you, and having you build national growth and development for us is amazing. So thank you so much for being on Grab Your Keys. And everyone who has listened to this, if you know someone who is not happy at the culture at their job, you should share this with them, because Teresa is always willing to take a telephone call. And if it's not Success that's right for you, she'll probably have the right company for you. So go out there and grab your keys.